I still remember the first day I opened a trading app. I did not have experience. I did not have a mentor. I only had hope. At that time, my bank account was almost empty, and my confidence was even lower. I was working a small job, earning just enough to survive, but inside my heart, I wanted something bigger. I wanted freedom. I wanted control over my life. One night after work, I watched a video about stock trading. The charts looked exciting. The numbers moved fast. The person in the video talked about financial freedom. And for the first time, I felt a small fire inside me. I told myself, maybe this can change my life. I did not think about risk. I only thought about success. I started with a small amount of money. It was money I had saved for months. When I placed my first trade, my hands were shaking. I kept looking at the screen every second. At first, the numbers turned green. I felt powerful. I felt smart. I thought, this is easy. But the market does not care about feelings. Within minutes, the green numbers turned red. I told myself to wait. I said, it will go back up. But it did not. Instead, it went lower and lower. I watched my money disappear in front of my eyes. When I finally closed the trade, I had lost almost half of my savings. That night, I could not sleep. I kept thinking about my mistake. I felt ashamed. I felt stupid. I did not tell anyone about the loss. I acted normal in front of my family, but inside, I was breaking. I asked myself, why did I think I could do this? But I did not quit. The next week, I tried again. This time, I watched more videos. I read articles. I followed online advice, but I still did not understand risk management. I was chasing profit, not knowledge. And again, I lost money. After 3 months, most of my savings were gone. My account balance was small. My confidence was smaller. One evening, I sat alone in my room, staring at the screen. The market was moving, but I was not trading. I was afraid. I realized something important that night. The market was not my enemy. My emotions were. I was impatient. I wanted fast money. I wanted quick success. But trading is not about excitement. It is about discipline. For the first time, I closed my laptop without placing a trade. I opened a notebook instead. On the first page, I wrote one sentence. If I continue like this, I will lose everything. That sentence changed me. I understood that I needed a plan. I needed rules. I needed to protect my money before trying to grow it. I stopped thinking about $1 million. I started thinking about one good decision at a time. But even with this new mindset, the road was not easy. I still made mistakes. I still felt fear. Some days I wanted to quit and delete the app forever. I saw other traders online showing big profits, new cars, and luxury life. I compared myself to them and felt small. However, deep inside, there was still a small voice telling me, do not quit, learn. So I reduced my trade size. I stopped trying to be a hero. I focused on understanding charts slowly. I studied support and resistance. I learned about stop loss. I began to respect risk. The profits were small, sometimes very small. But for the first time, I was not losing everything. That small stability gave me hope. I was still far from success. I was still far from $1 million. In fact, at that moment, even $1,000 felt impossible. But something inside me was changing. And that change was more important than money. The real change did not happen in one big trade. It happened in small, quiet moments. After writing that sentence in my notebook, I stopped trying to prove something to the market. I stopped trying to double my money in one day. Instead, I focused on protecting what I had left. Every morning before work, I studied charts for 1 hour. I did not trade immediately. I just observed. I asked myself simple questions. Why did the price move here? Why did it stop there? Slowly, I began to understand patterns. The market started to look less like chaos and more like behavior. I created strict rules for myself. I decided that I would never risk more than a small percentage of my account on one trade. I promised that I would always use a stop loss. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Small risk meant small profit, but it also meant small loss. And small loss meant survival. Months passed. Some weeks were green, some weeks were red. But the difference was this. My account was growing slowly instead of disappearing quickly. That slow growth changed my confidence. I was no longer gambling. I was managing risk. One day, something important happened. It was not a lucky trade. It was not a huge profit. It was a day when I followed my rules perfectly, even when I felt emotional. The market moved against me, and I closed the trade exactly where I had planned. I accepted the loss calmly. That day, I felt stronger than ever before. From that moment, discipline became my real profit. Over the next few years, I continued the same routine. Study, plan, execute, review. I treated trading like a business, not like a game. I saved money from my job and added small amounts to my trading account carefully. I did not rush. There were still difficult months. Sometimes the market was unpredictable. Sometimes I made mistakes. But I never broke my main rules again. I respected risk, like it was my teacher. Slowly, my account started to grow faster. Not because I changed strategy, but because my mindset improved. I became patient. I stopped comparing myself to social media traders. I focused only on my numbers, my growth, my discipline. Then one year, something surprising happened. The market conditions matched my strategy perfectly. I was prepared. I was calm. I did not overtrade. That year, my profits were higher than all previous years combined. It was not luck. It was preparation meeting opportunity. When my account crossed 6 figures, I did not celebrate loudly. I remembered the nights when I could not sleep because of losses. I remembered feeling ashamed and confused. That memory kept me humble. Years later, after consistent growth, smart risk management, and patience, my total capital crossed $1 million. It did not happen in one day. It did not happen in 1 year. It was the result of discipline repeated thousands of times. The most interesting part is this. The money changed my lifestyle, but the discipline changed my life. Today, when I look back, I do not feel proud of the $1 million. I feel proud that I did not quit when I lost almost everything. I feel proud that I learned to control my emotions. I feel proud that I respected the market instead of fighting it. If someone asks me how to reach $1 million in trading, I do not talk about secret strategies. I say something simple. Protect your capital. Control your emotions. Think long term. Because success in trading does not start with a big win. It starts the day you stop trying to win fast. And that was my real turning point.